This is Chelsea from digitalartteacher.com. In this video, we're going to learn how to use the blending modes and a couple of key uses for them. So here we go. Before we move into the blending modes, I always come in and do a little brightening with the curves. In the previous video, I showed you how to brighten images, and you'll find the link in the description if you're interested. Now moving on to the blending modes. Just to show you how this works, you can't do the blending modes if you only have a background. When you double click on the background, it pulls up this dialog box, and you click OK, it becomes editable. Blending modes are here in this space in the layers. Right now it's on normal. And in order to cycle through them quickly, you can hold down Shift and then the equal sign, and that will cycle through them. But you have to make sure that you're on the Move tool. If you're on, say, the Paint tool, then you'll be changing the blending modes within the Paint tool. So you need to keep that in mind. You can get some pretty cool effects when you just add a simple layer with a fill color on it, and then you add a blending mode to that fill color. So for example, I have chosen blue, and now I'm going to cycle through all the blending modes to see what they do. Remembering that your fast key for that is Shift equal sign. Once you find one that you like, you can change the opacity, and then it just gives a hint of the effect that your blending mode is putting on it. Makes it look a little bit more natural, if that's what you're going for. If you like this harsh coloring system that it brings up, then you can leave it. You can also change the color to see what a different color will do for a specific blending mode. And if it doesn't seem to be doing anything, switch your blending mode, see if a different blending mode will have a different effect in your chosen color. You can have a lot of fun playing around with the different blending modes available and the different colors. There are so many options. The last thing that I'm going to show you in Photoshop is adding an effect to the image itself. This brings out the colors in the actual image. And in order to do this, you need to make a copy of the image and then add the effects to the copy. A real quick overview here. The main ones are separated in different areas. This top section will darken the image. The second one will lighten it. The third one adds contrast. The fourth one has comparative modes. And the fifth one has composite modes. The main ones that I use are multiply to darken the image, screen to lighten the image, and overlay to boost the contrast. If you want to read on this further, I've added a link to the show notes that will explain all of this really well. And now moving on to the Photopea section of the video. This is very similar to Photoshop. You just go through these different blending modes and see what they do. Again, they don't do anything when you're just on the background, so you have to add a color or the image copy. And there are no hotkeys that will allow you to quickly cycle through them like there are in Photoshop. But if you have the blending mode selected, you can select the down arrow and then press Enter to move on to the next blending mode. Other than that, everything works pretty much the same as it does in Photoshop. So if you just need to do some quick edits to your photos and you don't have Photoshop, then Photopea works excellent for this. If you'd like the files used in this video, you can just click in the description and find out more. And that concludes the video on blending modes. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.